Hey everybody, welcome back to the Getting It Wrong podcast, where we unlearn harmful ideals, beliefs, and ideologies that we might be holding on to, and we get practical ways to live a more holistic and balanced lifestyle. And we embrace our mistakes here because getting it wrong is the first step to getting it right. I am your co-host, Gabby.
And I'm Morgan. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday. And I'm super excited, trying to get my energy up because we're going to be talking about finances.
Money.
Hey, money. Money. But okay, let me reel it back in. I know it's a topic that a lot of people don't like talking about, especially if you're not in the best financial situation. But I'm here to give you some resources to get yourself in a better financial situation, to get myself in a better financial situation. I mean, you don't have to be in a terrible financial situation to benefit from these tips that I'm about to share. But I think it's beneficial for everybody. There's room for improvement. Everyone has room for improvement. And I have been reading this book by Tiffany Aliche, The Budgetnista, and it's called Get Good with Money.
Okay, I'll put a pick in. Like that.
Yes, and I love her. She makes talking about money, learning about money, getting good with money so exciting. She has amazing energy, and I'm trying to channel a little bit of that energy today. And so I do want to promote this book. I want you guys to read it, even though I'm only on page 40. But when I say that I've gotten so much from this book, and I've only really gotten through the section before she even gets to the good stuff. Like, let me figure out, what does she even call this section? It's called the Before We Begin section.
Oh.
And when I say
started,
I haven't even gotten started, okay. And I've learned so much. So I wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys today. So I want to share the portion of the book where she talks about checking in on your money mindset. So when she says checking in on your money mindset, it's really like how you check in with yourself on anything, just to make sure you're not stuck in a negative mindset, and you have the proper mindset to help you build your money instead of being stuck.
Okay.
So I'm going to get right into it. Let's go with number 1, which is recognizing your money influences and patterns and their consequences. So there are many different things that influence your money decisions and your money mindset, but it really starts off with how you grew up and your family. So she gave a couple of examples. She gave an example of, like, if you come from a home where your parents like oversaved and they skimped on things for you, like your clothes for school or certain things like that, then you might grow up to overspend in those type of areas because you kind of felt like you lacked that growing up. But she gave an example that was kind of vice versa. So if your parents spent money frivolously, you would probably grow up to be like super frugal because you want to make sure that you like have all the money you need for like your expenses. Even if no matter what, you would still have the money for your expensive, you still might have the mindset that like at any moment you could not.
Yeah.
And that's definitely, I know a lot of people who grew up in, I don't know a lot of people who grew up in poverty, but I know a lot of people that did grow up in poverty kind of have that mindset. Like it's like a mindset of lack. Like they have to hold on to all of that they can because they feel like at some point, like they might not have it anymore. But she also gave some other examples that I don't really think about. that influence our money decisions. Of course, we know like advertisements and stuff, they try to get us to buy
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but she also talked about pop culture as well. And because, you know, like in movies, like when the girls bond, they usually go out shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And she said those type of influences, like all of those things together influence our money mindsets and our habits. And you
Mm.
really have to check in with that to make sure that you are influencing your habits more than the outside world or how you grew up is. And she gave a little tip on how to do that. So she said you need to gently ask yourself questions.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at your finances, kind of see what your money habits are. But she was like, don't be too down on yourself, because a lot of people look at their finances and be like, ooh, ooh, maybe I should not have done
For
this or
real.
done that. And you start like kind of feeling bad about it. But she was
Yeah.
like, please be gentle with yourself, because you're literally just doing this so you can be aware. She just wants
Okay.
you to be aware of where your money is going. So you
She's
can
like,
maybe
break these
ask
habits
yourself,
down.
yes, write those
Okay.
habits down. Yes, so you can figure out where your money is going and you can make different decisions moving forward if necessary.
Okay.
So, yep, and that was just number one. And I feel like we already got some good stuff.
Whew. That was a lot. That was a big number one. Okay.
It was a big number one. I'm gonna try to summarize it a little bit better. So number two is establishing your own financial voice and using it. So this is kind of what I'm when I mentioned before about how making different decisions moving forward, this would help with that. So she wants you to envision yourself being great with money. So if your future self was great with money, what would you do? What would you be doing? How would you be spending your money?
Okay. Okay. Are you asking me?
Oh, well, I mean, I can. So
Okay.
envision yourself
Since
in
you
a
asked.
great,
No.
yes, envision yourself in a great financial situation. What would your life look like? What would you be doing? What would you be spending your money on?
Okay. Um, Whenever I picture that, I always picture having like more than enough so that I can live like I would live this similar to how I live now, but I would
Mm-hmm.
make sure that the people around me are getting some of like I don't know, like the excess, the
So,
surplus.
so building up your community as well with
Correct.
with what you have left over. I like
Yeah.
that. I really do. But it's like, can you be a little bit more specific?
No. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
I mean, we don't
What do you
have to,
mean?
if you can't do it right now, just like, just be more specific with your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Just not exactly like, not exactly what you would do with your money. Like, that's a good part of it. But
Mm-hmm.
what would your life look like? Like your lifestyle.
Mm, I don't. I still don't like lavish and lots. I like small homes, something that's
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, but I still want to be like financially stable and still like comfortable to where if
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry or like I still feel secure. Um and then also I would like to have more than enough to sustain like what I have, like my small, very how would I put it? My small, like quaint
Like quaint,
home.
humble abode.
Exactly. My
Mm-hmm.
yes. But then yeah, I want to have surplus so that I can help the other people around me as well.
I like
That's my
that.
idea.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know how much more specific that was, but I don't know.
no, I'm just going to give an example. I mean, it doesn't
Okay.
have to be anything super extravagant. Just like I envision myself living in a, not necessarily me personally. So maybe I should get more specific. I guess I can see myself, yeah, like living in at least a two-story home.
Okay.
I could see myself having like an indoor pool, and maybe an indoor pool and an outdoor pool. Um, I remember seeing these pictures on Pinterest where it was kind of like a walk-in shower, and I can't really explain it, but that's something I would love to have. And in my mindset, I'm like, go big or go home, because even if you don't reach, that exact level that you're trying to reach for, even if you fall short, it would still be pretty damn good.
Why not? That makes sense.
Yes, and I picture myself driving a Range Rover.
Mm-hmm.
Future, future teens. Um, future teens. And I mean, of course, I envision myself having a guest house as well, so that my mother would be able to live in it. So, yeah, those are some things that I envision for myself. But she tells you to envision these things, because if you can envision yourself with great money habits and a certain lifestyle, then you will move differently. You will start to make choices that will bring you closer towards that vision of your life.
Okay. That's a great point. You got to know where you want to be, or like,
Exactly.
yeah, to even create like goals, you got to know what you want. So,
You got to
great
know
point.
what you want. You got to know what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 3, which is find a reason for gratitude. And I love this one because if you're not in the best financial situation, it's easy to get down on yourself. It's easy to feel like you can't find a way out of it. But if you even grasp onto this little piece of gratitude that you have, that's even like the tiniest grain of sand on like a beach, like that can be that little grain that'll help you keep moving forward. So you're not stuck and depressed and sad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because I mean, not being where you want to be financially can be pretty like depressing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's
you
a
need
good
that.
point. And that can be like, yeah, just helpful, like appreciating what you have and where like how far you've come is important to just be in the habit of doing.
Yeah, I'm like, what
But
did they
yeah.
say in church the other day? God is not going to bless you with more if you don't take care of what you already have. So
Facts.
it is what it is. But she did give a tip on creating a gratitude list,
Mhm.
just getting everything out of what you're grateful for, even if it's as small as I'm grateful that I had something delicious to cook for dinner this evening. Um, Something I like to do personally is every time I write in my journal, especially in the morning time, I like to start my day off saying something that I am grateful for, even if it's just I'm grateful that I woke up this
Mm.
morning, because I mean that keeps you with a positive mindset, not even just financially, just for
Yeah.
life in general.
Yeah. Got to start off with some, some type of positivity, or you're like, I'm not grateful for anything, and you go back to bed.
Right. Like, am I grateful I woke up this morning? I don't know. It'd be like that sometimes. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to number 4, which is live for joy. And I love the little stories that she shares. So for this one, she shared a story about her visiting Nigeria. I believe that's where she's from, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and she just was observing like her family and how they didn't necessarily have the most money, but they were so happy. They spent a lot of their time just like spending quality time together, like playing games and I don't know, like singing songs and talking to each other. And it kind of put things into perspective for her, at least. Um, that money, yes, it can help you solve a lot of problems. It can bring you some type of happiness. But honestly, a lot of things that money brings is superficial.
Mhm.
Um, you have to have something a little bit outside of that as well.
Yeah.
And so she was just saying, take a moment to think about how, well, I don't know if she said this exactly, but this is how I interpreted the information. Um, she said, think about how you can add joy to your daily life. Well, that's what I said, not what she said.
Either way, somebody said a great thing.
He said it. Somebody.
Yeah, no, that's a great point.
Can you
Yeah.
think about some small things that can add joy to your daily life?
Mm, like, I mean, I know everybody says this, but like just being present and like you said, being grateful and appreciative of like when I just really take the time and I'm like looking at Zara, and like really trying to be present, like I really appreciate those moments where I like actually take the time to play Barbies and I get to see her like little smile and stuff like that. Like that helps me. That brings me joy. And it makes me feel like, okay, I might be doing okay as a parent, and that makes me happy. We might have hope. She's gonna turn out to be a good person.
I mean, yeah, I think that was actually the magical number one answer, honestly, because I feel like it's very hard to be present in our daily lives
It
and
is.
just, yeah, taking those moments to be present. Like I said in our Must Know Monday episode, how me and I went out to eat instead of like eating at home. So it's really hard to be present when eating at
Yeah.
home because it's like, okay, I have to cook the dinner. Okay, I have to make sure I'm cleaning while I'm cooking, or I have to clean it
Yeah.
after I'm cooking. And then, okay, I
Right.
got to set it up and make sure she has what she needs. Then I have to make sure I have what
Yes.
I need. And it's like, it's not a very present
No, it's like very,
activity.
yeah, because you have to think about what's next. You have to constantly be in your head instead of being like available to enjoy the moment. Like, so
Right.
difficult. It's
And
like
when we
by the
went out
time
to
you sit
eat,
down,
oh,
they want
uh-huh.
seconds or they want some juice, or it's like, okay, I just sat down, I just started eating, and now you want something, and I have to get back up. And then by the time I sit back down, you're gonna be done. And then I'm gonna clean up, and girl, like you said, it's a lot.
Yeah. And so when we went out to eat the other day, we really got to sit down and, just talk to each other, play with each other, and just enjoy each other's company. And that made my whole day 10 times better. Like, no matter what happened that day, like, that really brought me so much joy. So I would like to add more of those moments into my life. And I'm not saying I'm going out to eat every night.
Right.
uh,
Right.
but
We are talking about being financially
right.
we're trying to have good financial tips. But yeah, I think the I think a part of like taking care of your finances is that like once you do like get to a secure point, it can in a way it can kind of buy you more of those moments. Because
Heck yeah.
you can find a way to create more of those moments if you create like a budget for going out to eat a couple times a week, or if you create like or if you like take off work or do something that allows you to play with your child more, or like yeah, it can be like if you take that time to really get your finances in order, I think that can like help your quality of life in some ways.
Definitely. You use it to buy superficial things. You can actually use it to buy you more quality time.
Yes, and I think that's the best way to spend your money is like on quality time and like experiences. Buying
Mm-hmm.
new experiences is like one of the best ways to spend your money.
I agree.
So let's go on vacation. Is all I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to
Let's go on vacation.
let's go to the islands. Okay, but I'm going to move on to the last final tip.
Okay.
Last but not least, and it is surround yourself with positivity and accountability. And this
Mm.
is basically your environment. I feel like almost every episode we talk about how important your environment is to whatever goal that you're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And she
That's
wanted
true.
us, yeah, Miss Tiffany Aliche, she wanted us to take a look at the people that are around us and see if they're adding value to our life and our goals, or if they are holding us back.
Mm.
Because if they're holding us back, it might be time to knock them down a few tiers. How
Okay.
we talked about in our friendship episode. Um, but the hard thing is like, what if it's family?
They could get cut
you
off too.
know? I mean, yes,
No,
yes,
but
yes. No, I mean they really can. They can. But it's harder. It's not as easy to
yeah,
knock a family member down tears as it is like a friend, someone you haven't known all your life.
yeah.
Um, but sometimes it's necessary.
What would that look like? I guess I'm just curious. What does that look like when you have like someone holding you back financially? Could it be they always got to borrow money, or oh, you know what? I just thought of one. Okay,
What's
so I
one?
had somebody telling me that they have friends that whenever they hang out, they want to go spend money, but
Mm,
this person is trying to save money right now,
mm-hmm,
and they're in a place where they're like, okay, I really want to save money. Now, I don't know
mm-hmm,
if said person communicated this to the friends or not. That's the point they need to bring up. But
mm-hmm,
um, yeah, like the friends are always like, whenever they want to hang out, they want to go to eat and do
mm-hmm.
like things that would cause them to break the budget. So now I don't know. I don't think the friends need to be cut off, but
I don't think
I
so either.
do think um you may have to take a step back from the friends, and or at least for the time being, and hang out with other people that are down to save a little bit of money, or just
Yeah,
go to the
or you
park.
could suggest, yeah, I was gonna say, or suggest things that don't cost money. Like if they're your friends, you can explain to them like what's going on. You can be like, hey, I don't have it for that right now. Maybe next week we could like do this. Or, like you said, go to the park or something that
Hmm.
costs a little bit less money. I mean, set your boundaries. If they
True.
invite you, you don't have to go.
That's true. Like I might set this one out.
Right.
but but yeah, that's I mean, I think that's just a good point. Like if you are surrounding yourself around people that are like-minded, or if you're in a specific situation, like try and make sure you are putting up those boundaries with those friends, or you may have to take a step back from them for a minute
Right.
just to.
Because especially if you are coming from like a certain mindset and you're trying to shift to a different one, like the people who are around you previously all probably have the same mindset that you are trying to get out of. So it would make sense. Not saying you have to cut those people off, but I think it would be beneficial to surround yourself with people who have that mindset that you are trying to get to achieve, because they'll help you get there.
That's true.
There it is. Here you go.
There it is.
And those were all the 5 tips that I had for you guys. I can go through them one more time briefly. Let me grab my paper. So number 1 was to recognize your money influences, patterns, and their consequences. Number
Mhm.
2, establish your own financial voice and use it. Number 3, find a reason for gratitude. Number 4 was to live for joy. And number 5 is to surround yourself with positivity and accountability.
Okay.
And you know what? That also made me think of, I know you've heard that saying that you are the combination of like the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Mm. Have I heard that?
I don't know
I
if
don't
you've
think
heard
I've
that.
I don't think if I've heard it put that way. Now I'm like, who do I hang out with?
Exactly. That really makes you think. Because I think when I first heard that a few years ago, I was like, that actually made me really scared. I was like,
This one gotta go.
this one gotta go, this one gotta go. No.
Right. Like,
uh,
uh-oh.
and I think that would help you figure out, well, that would help you figure out who you want to spend your time around, like who you want to be your friends, like
Mm-hmm.
just think about their mindsets and would their mindsets align with where you see yourself
Mm-hmm.
in the future. And if it doesn't, it's like, should these people be the people that you're spending all your time with?
Mm-hmm. Hey. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to think about that, guys. Let's think about that. We have homework.
Seriously, think about it, write them down, cross them off, do what you got to do.
Cross them off. No, but yeah.
No, don't. I mean, you don't have to cross, you don't have to cut people off. I'm not telling you to cut off all your friends. What I am telling you is to just think about the people that you have around you and just make sure that these are the type of people who you see yourself with 5 years from now.
Yeah.
And that's all I have.
Okay.
All righty.